Coming up on Spectrum News, a Buffalo teenager was accused of the murder of a youth football coach. Hear how much prison time he's facing.
There's a new development in Erie County Clerk Mickey Cairns' challenge of the green light law. A 32-page decision released shows the results.
And the 59-year-old man who was rescued from the Upper Niagara River has been sent to the medical center. He is in stable condition now. All that and more as Spectrum News starts right now. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Benjamin Blanchet.
And I'm Aiden Pollard. I'll have more on those top stories, but first, a quick check of the forecast.
Thanks for joining me for a quick weather on the ones update. Well, we started out this Friday morning with not only brisk and cold weather, but also some leftover lake effect with some snow showers coming in off of both Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. But you can kind of see how that activity quickly fizzled, and outside of maybe another couple of spot flurries, we're going to hold on to fairly quiet and uneventful weather as we go through the remainder of the day. We're just not going to see much improvement in that temperature department. After starting out in the 20s, we'll end up only in the low 30s this afternoon. Likely not much of a breeze, but when it does kick up, it'll make it feel as though it's in the 20s. Tonight could see some passing lake snow showers late, nothing more than a coating out of that with lows in the 20s. And for Jamestown, Dunkirk, Olean, now looking at just some spot flurries with breaks of sun. Highs this afternoon near 30. Back into the upper teens and low 20s tonight. I'll let you know if this midwinter cold sticks around for your weekend coming up here shortly.
A Buffalo teenager is charged with murdering a youth football coach. The teenager is facing life behind bars if convicted of the crime. Jason Washington, 17, is accused of killing the football coach Norzell Aldridge. Washington faces multiple charges, including second-degree attempted murder and criminal possession of a weapon. On August 31st, Jason Washington saw a friend of his being pummeled by a man after the football game and intervened by putting a gun to the man's head. The coach was shot and killed when he was trying to break up the fight.
Awful. Here's a guy who was he was a football coach. He was a football coach in the inner city, trying to help inner city kids stay off the street.
Washington is also facing charges in connection with another shooting that happened on August 6th. He's accused of firing into a group of kids at McCarthy Park, hitting one of them in the leg.
There's a new development in Erie County Clerk Mickey Cairns' challenge of the green light law. A federal judge has dismissed the lawsuit by the county clerk who sought to prevent New York State from granting driver's license to immigrants living in the state undocumented.
The voters of Erie County have spoken. I was elected twice to this office, and I feel as though that I'm going to do the best to uphold the Constitution. I sat in this office, or in this room, and I raised my right hand to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States of America. And I'm going to continue to do that as long as I'm the Erie County Clerk.
Cairns filed the lawsuit against the state and asked for a preliminary injunction to keep the law from going into effect next month. The law supporters say it will make the streets safer by preventing accidents by undocumented immigrants and provide revenue to the state. New York became the 13th state to allow undocumented immigrants to receive driver's licenses. The measure passed the state's Democrat-led legislature in June and was quickly signed into law by Governor Andrew Cuomo. The law goes into effect December 14th.
After this week's FBI raid inside Buffalo City Hall, there are still many questions not to be answered yet. We heard from Mayor Byron Brown on Thursday. Brown says search warrants were about the Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency, which helps fund new housing, existing housing, and even loans in rebuilding neighborhoods. But he said he's still very much in the dark when it comes to the investigation.
I haven't been given any information about the investigation or the nature of the investigation. No one has spoken to me directly about the investigation, and I have not been provided any additional detail. We respect the work of federal agencies. They had a search warrant that they executed. It's my understanding that our employees in the Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency were very cooperative and that the information they were seeking was taken.
Investigators from the FBI, HUD, and the IRS spent nearly 8 hours on the third floor of City Hall Wednesday. There have been no arrests or really any information besides the FBI confirming the agents were there.
A gunpoint robbery occurred at Canisius campus on Friday night. The suspect is still on the run. Canisius College public safety officials say the robbery happened around 7 p.m. inside the village's townhouses complex apartment on Main Street. Officials say the victim is familiar with the suspect. The suspect is described as a black male armed with a 9mm handgun. If you have any information, public safety officials are asking you call 716-888-2330.
On Tuesday, the U.S. Senate unanimously passed a bill that, if signed into law, would make the torture of animals a federal felony punishable with fines and up to 7 years in prison. The legislation, named the Preventing Animal Cruelty and Torture Act, is aimed at increasing the penalty for people who make so-called crush videos that show animals being crushed, burned, drowned, suffocated, or tortured. Local animal rights advocates say the bill is a major step in the right direction to hold abusers accountable.
And the laws were part of the problem, that it was frustrating because a lot of people were getting away with it. With this new law, that's going to change things incredibly.
Now, federal authorities will have to have approval to go after wrongdoers if the bill is signed by President Trump.
Niagara Falls firefighters and local first responders got into the water of the upper Niagara River in an effort to rescue a man who was clinging to a log off Goat Island on Thursday. State Parks Police Major Clyde Doty was in the water and grabbed the man after he broke free and floated further down the river. The man is currently listed in stable condition in the intensive care unit at Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center on Friday.
I think yesterday, the end result, it couldn't have been any better. This is a strong individual who survived a long time in the water. We were able to get to him, make contact, secure him, and get him to a hospital. And we can't ask for anything better than that.
The reason why the man entered the water is still not clear.
Local superheroes were awarded for devoting their lives to saving others at Wednesday night. Organizers say the EMS Awards in Hamburg are to thank their heroic actions in emergency calls. The group of honorees were chosen by Mercy Hospital of Buffalo. 3 survivors also attended the event to appreciate being helped by the heroes. To appreciate those people who serve, there's another...
The VA Western New York healthcare system started to celebrate Veterans Day ahead of time. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul and Colonel Mark Larson of the 914th Air Refueling Wing spoke at the Buffalo VA's ceremony.
And I look around the room and I see a lot of remnants from a lot of well-fought battles, and marks of honor with each of you. I had a chance to talk to a few of you. It won't be long before we don't have the people who fought in the Ardennes and Normandy and Guadalcanal and Iwo Jima, but we still have a great presence from them, and we honor them this day.
Each veteran was honored with a song from their branch of the military during the ceremony.
Winter is the best season for snow lovers. If the little bit of snow is not enough for you, Kissing Bridge starts to make its own snow on Friday. You can head to the resort throughout this weekend for some snow activities and the annual Fall Fest.
Thanks for joining me here on this brisk and cold Friday morning. I'm Spectrum News meteorologist Dan Russell. Temperatures into this afternoon ending up only in the low 30s, about 20 degrees below average. Luckily, we are going to take a little edge off for you, though, heading into the weekend. If you head out very early tomorrow morning, there may be a couple leftover lake snow showers, and we're talking right around sunrise, especially across some of the north towns. That activity, like we saw earlier this morning, will quickly taper off. Most of the day will be precipitation free with temperatures ending up near 40 for the afternoon. So again, trying to take a little edge off for you. Sunday morning, not nearly as cold. We'll start out with temperatures in the 30s. We'll end up in the mid to even upper 40s Sunday afternoon, although Could be tracking a couple of lake rain, maybe a few mixed showers there. Monday, I think that's really our next day in which we get into some widespread precipitation. So in the meantime, today will feature a good amount of sunshine, but notice it does not help out in that temperature department. So don't let that sunshine fool you, and any little bit of a breeze will continue to make it feel as though it's in the 20s. If you have any evening plans, here we are at 5 p.m. I know we have a couple of big football games going on in New Airfield with the Class B championship at 5, the Class AA championship later in the evening. All will be quiet. Should be some great weather, just chilly. Make sure you do bundle up for those football games. And then as mentioned, tomorrow morning outside of a quick passing snow shower very early, here we are at 7 a.m. Most of the day will feature partly sunny skies, but it won't be as cold with highs around 40. Sunday will also feature some fairly quiet weather, so if you are going to be traveling down the 90, do not have any issues heading towards Cleveland. And for the game itself, I think we'll have temperatures in the low to mid 40s with partly sunny skies. Have a great day and weekend, everybody.
We need to take a quick break, but stay with us. More local news is coming up. You're watching Spectrum News.